Welcome, science friends, to homeostasis. Homeostasis is maintaining stable internal conditions. Now, for us as humans, that's something we experience all of the time. Anytime we eat something, when we exercise, if we get too hot or too cold, all we need to do to stay alive is maintain those internal conditions. So often we get thrown out of balance and we need to react. Whether we're thinking about it or not, our body knows that it needs to return back to balance in order to keep us and all of our internal conditions happy. So, changes in homeostasis have to be detected. And in order to be detected, our brains and the rest of our bodies need to be aware of what's going on. A receptor is a structure that receives a signal. It detects something that happens that throws our body out of balance. And when it does that, it's able to alert or make aware the things in our bodies that can fix that balance problem. So as you can see here in our little diagram with our balance, number one, if our homeostasis is not balanced, it goes out of whack, and we need to go through a series of steps to bring it back to balance. So for example, something that we do every day, moving our bodies, if we exercise, our cells send out molecules to alert our body that there's a change in activity level. We're noticing that more oxygen is being used, maybe even our temperature is increasing. So when you exercise in PE or a sport, you experience these symptoms. The control center then will receive those signals from our receptors. For humans, the control center is our brain. Our brain is what's controlling our whole body. It receives those signals and tries to figure out what to do about it. So in this example, our brain interprets that information. Okay, we're using more oxygen and our body's getting a lot warmer. We need to do something about it to put our body back into balance so we don't get hurt or sick. So with our exercise example, our brain receives those triggers and those signals, and it says, we need to fix this. So I'm going to send out my own messengers, hormones, to fix our problem. We're getting too warm, we're using too much oxygen. Now, the effector is something that responds to that control center or brain, and it sends out the signal to balance our body back into homeostasis. So, for example, our exercise, in response to our brain saying, hey, we're getting too warm, we're using too much oxygen, the response to that, the effector says, hey, if we're getting too warm, we need to start sweating. If we're using too much oxygen, we need to breathe more or respirate more heavily. We need to breathe faster, and our heart rate needs to increase to get the oxygen throughout our body to help our muscles continue to move. And now our homeostasis has been restored. The sweating cools us down through evaporative cooling, and our breathing rate increases and our heart rate increases to get that oxygen back through our body to help our muscles keep us moving and our body happy. That was homeostasis. I hope it helped.